Hello everyone, welcome one and all to the first ever XPN Podcast. This is episode 1. This is a podcast all about everything gaming. We're here to spotlight games, talk about movies, talk about every old thing, cutting out all the boring drama news and just sort of showing off a whole host of awesome games. My name's Ash, aka Ghostbuster. I am joined by Baldman Gamer. How's it going, good sir?
So bad, I've just noticed I'm only wearing one sock. Good evening. It's awesome to be here. Good evening, all. How's that going?
We are also joined by the world's longest break man. He's on holiday more than he's off. It's Mr. Sergeant Sentinel Gaming. How's it going?
Wow. I you know what? I'm not off like Jenna is. I mean, Jenna just left and never came back, so I think he holds the record.
We banished him, like we banished Redders.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, this is episode 1. So I apologise if some things don't work particularly great or something goes awry. It's a test. We're trying it out. Got lots of overlays, got lots of moving parts and stuff like that. So bear with us. We're going to do our best. But today we're going to quickly jump into what we've been playing. We're going to focus on like one game each. We're not going to bore you with everything. So BMG, tell us about one game you have been playing this week.
I've been playing Destiny. The new season just dropped and they did the showcase on the 22nd of August and it was really, really good and they showed off the new season, the final shape and what's coming in the future, and it's going to go away from the seasons model and it's going straight to the episodes model, 3 a year with 3 acts. Act 1 starting in March and then going straight through to the next February, and the new season of The Witch has just started and it's awesome.
Nice.
We were meant to. Did you not? I thought you meant we had to go. We had to talk quickly.
No.
That's what. Oh no!
It's
yeah,
like
Destiny...
talking to a child, isn't it? Like when we play video games together. It's like I get more frustrated with you than I do my like young children.
Because... Have you ever had? You know when you got your camera in front of you, have you ever thought about just like licking it just to see people's reactions on the screen, or was that just me that sort of thinks them things?
That's just
right,
you.
Okay.
I'm wearing my Outright Games hat that they sent me in the post. Shameless plug. So if you want to see what I got in my care package from Outright Games, because I am an Outright Games ambassador, you can see the video on our YouTube channel, or you can look at the pictures on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. So yeah,
I liked how you went. I liked how you went like that, as if he was like royalty. I'm an ambassador.
I am a platinum ambassador. I am the highest level of ambassador, and yes, I pump out a lot of Outright Games content. Oh yeah, I've got my cup of tea. Let me get it.
Oh, do the little finger. Do the little finger.
Hang on. I can't really lift it up with the. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it says coffee.
I know it says before coffee. Oh no, it says after coffee, and then on the other side it says before coffee. But yeah, it had coffee in this morning. I like. Sentinel's changed himself to a little picture of him. Isn't that nice?
Hey,
One thing
you
you
wear
can do
a
on
hat?
Discord chat is allow like your picture to go to the full size of the screen, so you could have like a still image of Sentinel like he's here, and you can just be like, oh, I've got an internet issue.
There you go. See, that's what we need to do.
He just wants to wear a hat, same as you.
He does. He's just jealous. He's just jealous. He's jealous I've got a Lurkit hat as well. I'll dig the Lurkit hat out over Christmas, Sentinel. It was a really nice hat. I wore it like every day to work because no one knew what it was.
I wear a hat because my forehead is so goddamn big you could land a helicopter on that shit. So that's why I wear hats.
Oh. Fimber once watched an auction for animals from Texas. I don't think most people there understand what they're saying. Probably something to do with auctioning off animals, Fimber. Could be wrong.
Good one. 110.
And you tend to, I got 20, 20, 20, I've got 30, 30, 30, 35, 35, 40, 40, 45, sold them.
Oh, it's good to be back podcasting, isn't it? Because we haven't been podcasting. We've had a month off. We've put the other shows out to pasture for now. So the XBL Party Podcast and the PSN Party Podcast are on a sort of indefinite hiatus. We're going to be focusing on this one weekly. I'm also, which these guys don't know about, I'm doing another podcast, which is a monthly show, which will be starting this week as well. Just to give an idea about what it's about. But yeah, that'll be going live. Yeah, hats. Yes, hats. Not outright games at all.
There you go.
So that I'm doing that with some other outright games ambassadors. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But this is going to be the main podcast on the channel. It's really great to see everyone in chat. So shout out to UK Daz, Stubbs Gaming, Muppet, Thimber, Meisuko. You are right, Stubbs. This isn't StreamYard. I am doing this all in OBS. I have got lots of overlays and everything. So if something was slightly wrong, I apologise. I may or may not have only gotten around to sorting some of it out literally as we started the show. But we're good. Sentinel, what you've been playing this week? Give us a game you've been playing.
I'm actually going back and forth between two games. The Power Wash Simulator, which is pretty cool, and Astral Flame Starfighter. And Astral Flame Starfighter is a new game. It just came out. It's $4.99 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox storefronts. So if you like the old side-scroll super R-Type and stuff like that, you're definitely going to love Astral Flame Starfighter. I've been playing the hell out of it, and it's very fast-paced. It does have a graphical upgrade to like how those retro games used to look, so it looks really good, and for $5 it's a steal. I actually got a review code for it, so I didn't have to pay for it, but if I'd seen what this game was about beforehand, I would have paid the $5 because it's definitely worth it, and it's fun. Like one day I played it maybe for 4 hours. It's crazy. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
I've also played it recently. I think I played it about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I also got a review copy, did a review on it. Really fun little game, yeah. Short but sweet, like in terms it's a shmup, so it's not the longest of games. It's a bit longer than normal shmups. Like a normal shmup, you'll get through it in about 40 minutes, start to finish. But this one, it had like upgradable items and stuff like that. Looks nice as well. You've seen it on the screen right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is it on screen. So yeah, it's a fun little game. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, between, like I said, Astro Flame Starfighter, I've been playing that a lot on my PlayStation, and then I've been playing Power Wash Simulator a lot on Xbox. That's a great game, but it works a lot better if you have a team of people helping you, because some of those projects are fucking humongous, and it's like, it'll take you 5 hours to do some of them, so, you know, kind of a pain if you're playing it by yourself.
Yeah, there may be buffering. I do apologise. Like I say, I am running it off potato internet. Sorry, guys. Not much I can do about that. I can only upload as and when. So we're doing our best. Life's a bitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it does buffer, it's just internet, unfortunately. Can't do too much about it. Usually, if you've ever watched any of the StreamYard podcasts, right at the beginning of the show, I tend to get, like, kicked out every now and again, and I'm not 100% sure why. So who knows? Like, it's saying it's streaming fine on my end. So
I can see I've got it because I've got it open on mine. It does every every few seconds here and there, it just buffers for a second and then it's back. So it's he'll have to do it. He'll have to. Did I say what? I did say what I was playing, didn't I? I said it first.
I'll just make a few quick changes to the settings. I don't want to upset people with low bit rate or anything like that. But hey, apply. Okay, we'll see. See if that makes any difference, guys. Like I say, this is the first one. We hadn't really been able to test the software most, so we're just sort of dealing with what we can. What have I been playing? So most of it has been stuff I'm doing for reviews. I started playing a weird little game today, though, called Liberty Bell, which is like a PS1 graphics platformer on Steam where you play as a woman with she's a superhero, but it's like proper American-ized superhero and stuff. So she's got the red, white, and blue and everything like that. That was actually quite good. I quite enjoyed it. So, that's something I highly recommend. I'm going to have a video up on it soon, but I don't want to talk about all the games I've been playing, because I've done reviews of them. So if you want to hear what I've got to say, shameless plug, watch some of the review videos. It's true. Right. It's true. I don't put them out for no reason. But yeah, one I'm looking forward to playing on my big list is, what's it called? Dust and Neon. I'm looking forward to trying that out. That looks pretty cool. So
nice.
That's something I'm hoping to play very, very, very soon. Let's just check on chat quickly. Hit that like button if you're in the chat. Hit hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share this thing out on the socials. Let people know we are live. Like I say, I will tweak all of the sort of streaming settings going forward. It's just trying to get used to OBS. OBS has so many streaming settings, and it depends on your internet and stuff like that. So I'm trying. I am. So we're going to jump into our first sort of spotlight. We're going to every episode of the show, we're going to spotlight a handful of games and talk about those games in a bit more depth, like what we've been playing. So the first one up is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this has literally just come out the other week. We did a live stream day one on Xbox, and it was pretty good, wasn't it, BMG? You and me played.
Yeah. It was a good game. I think the biggest issue I think we found with it, and I think a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, has found that getting people to ready up is a absolute nightmare. They just sit there, and then it does the countdown from 3 minutes, gets about 10 seconds, and then they ready up. It's like, come on. That's one of the main critiques, but that's more of a player side of stuff, not the game side of stuff. It was a fun game. We enjoyed it. We had a good laugh. A couple of bit of scares when you open a door and you're getting chainsawed in half, or a woman spitting at you and things like that.
Yeah, and the footage you're seeing here is from us playing it on release. It does look better in game. You've got to remember this is the footage stream, so it's a lot lower quality when it gets up to YouTube and it compresses it and everything. Plus, I then have downloaded it, used it for a review video, and then downloaded it again, so we had it for this show as well. So it looks a lot better. It's got a lot of detail in the environments and stuff. The characters and the sounds are really cool as well. I really like what they've done with that in terms of try to keep it like the original. Obviously, some of the characters and the actors aren't around anymore, but they've done a very good job of keeping it sounding like they were the real deal.
Yeah, it was because it's depending who you play, you start in the basement, and I tell you something, I think it took me a good 15 minutes or just shy of 15 minutes to get out the basement. It just took that long. Managed to get in the house, get outside, and then I came near a well. Didn't think the well would put me back in the basement. I thought I'd just hang over the side and hide. Nope, straight back in the basement. Could I find my way out? Could I? Hell. And it was fun. It was hard because I kept hiding, ducking around, trying to get to the exit, and then all the killers just got fed up, and they all just disconnected. So I won for the team, but only because everyone got fed up of looking for me. They just quit. So I drove them to that. I think, and I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if it's I'm assuming it's from the technical side. If there's an issue on that side, or how it works, I don't know. But you can play between Xbox Series X, S, and PS5, and PC. Then they can play together, but you can't play. And PS4 and Xbox One can play together.
No, I don't think PS4 and Xbox One can play together. I think they're alone.
Oh,
I think PS4
really?
is on its own. Yeah, I was reading this. I'm sure PS4 is just on its own little island, and Xbox One is on its own little island, which to me sounds like it'll die a quick death there because the player base will be gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
definitely. At least with crossplay, and I don't always like crossplay because you play with people on PC, and in certain games you get like people that. Like, I swear they must have been like raising their Asian children just playing these games because they like spin round, do mega flips, and like they've got more fingers than keys, and they just absolutely wreck you. And then there's the hackers and stuff like that. Whereas at least the good side of that is it actually keeps the games alive and stuff. So that's the downside. You can't win a lot of games, but you can at least get a lot of games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to explain anyway.
Yeah, because it's like Sea of Thieves does it, which is quite a good option where you can have Xbox only players, or you can have Xbox and PC players, so you can sort of take that element out of it. I've never really noticed that in many games, to be honest, I didn't dive too much into the options to see if this had it. But yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment because we were live streaming, inviting people to play. Finbar wanted to play, but because he's got the Xbox One, couldn't join. And then we had to actually go and search and find. It says nope, sorry, you can't play with them, which is a bit disappointing, especially more on the Xbox side. But again, I don't know if that's just a choice they picked or if there's some sort of technical issue because there's a lot of games out there where you can be on older gen and play with newer gen. Cross-platform and generation, so I don't know. Maybe it's worth message them, ask them the question. Maybe it's something they're going to introduce. Maybe it's just they wanted to get this game out ahead of all these big games that are coming out. And I don't know, but yeah, it was a good-looking game. It took me forever and a day to actually get out of that basement. I spent nearly the whole first match in there. I never get, and you'll be sort of seeing on screen at the end you see Leatherface just like spinning around with the chainsaw, and whether you win or lose, it's just like it just doesn't make sense. But fair enough, he's crazy, I suppose. And yeah, all the different killers have different skill sets. Some can only walk, some can walk a bit quicker, some can run.
Yeah, they've all got like broke their ankles, haven't they? And they all like waddle along like weirdly. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like they've sort of gone for that Dead by Daylight because the killer moves slow, but these haven't implemented it, I don't think, as well. But game's just released, there's going to be tweaks again, they'll get player feedback. It is actually more fun playing as a survivor trying to escape because you can crawl through little crawl spaces and then they can destroy them and things like that. And then they've got Grandpa, and when Grandpa starts waking up, you've just got to not move, because if you move, it shows the killers where you are and then it can lead you to them. Things setting sounds off. A better version of Friday the 13th. It's because I think it was 3 killers, 4 survivors.
4 survivors. Yeah, 3 family, 4 victims.
Yeah, and I'd say for the map size and how complex they are, and like different levels you can go in and room you could get. I suppose it's a good balance. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game. I did enjoy it, and like to jump into it again, see what's coming out. Would it be something I would play long term? No. It's something you'd jump into now and again if you get some people together, because like playing with randos it just seems hard work. I think every game we were waiting for 1 or 2 people to ready up, and it was, and then someone would leave, and then it'd be like, come on, and then you have to wait for someone else to join. But it was good. It was a fun game. It was fun to play. like them sort of games, I think the one I've really enjoyed the most. I do like Dead by Daylight. I do have
I
it.
like Dead by Daylight a
But
lot.
yeah, it's a fun game. I've got a few characters. I've got that weird looking girl that crawls out the TVs. I forgot her name.
Oh, the ring girl in it, but I can't, she's got a
Yeah.
name, but can I remember what it's called off the top of my head?
Yeah, Ring Piece or something like that. I
Ring
don't
Piece,
know where
yeah.
it is. Her, but yeah, and there's TVs dotted around her where it's just like you just climb out and go, "Gooey, I'm here." And I've got Ghostface, I think, and a couple of others. But yeah, I like But that game's been going for so long. They've just got that formula down to a T, where they've just got this player base and they get all these famous different genres of horror films where they get all these different characters in. You got Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is in there, that's why everyone wants to play to be Nicolas Cage. But sadly, he's not a killer. He's a survivor, which is disappointing. Very disappointing.
I prefer playing Dead by Daylight as a survivor because it's more social, because you can play with friends, whereas like this one is quite good because I can play it with friends and still play both sides, whereas Dead by Daylight, you play killer, you're on your own really, unless you're playing with a full group.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's like out of all these sort of games that have come out over recent couple of years or so, I think Ghostbusters is still my favourite. Because
we need to go back to that. Apparently, they've just had another new map added as well. So
that'd be fun.
They've added like a nightclub level as well. So it's had 3 or 4 maps added. I think 3 maps or 4 maps added since we last fully played it properly.
Yeah.
So...
But that's one where it's to me. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but to me, it's only fun to play as a Ghostbuster. The ghosts are not really that fun. Yeah, you're quite limited.
No one goes, you know what, I want to be a ghost. You all like, I want to be a Ghostbuster and blast things with a proton pack, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of this game, though, like I say, at launch, 3 maps. You've got the family house, you've got the slaughterhouse, this map, and you've got like the petrol station sort of map. Each one has a day and a night variant. There's 4 or 5 killers you can play as. I think there's 4 killers you can play as at launch. And
I think it's 5.
No, I think there's 4 you can pick. I'm sure there might be 5. I only remember 4, but it's good. It's good. There's going to be paid DLC. Unfortunately, there already is some. So, like the game itself is $33.49 at launch, and that's the price. That's on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5. It's also on PC. You can get it as part of your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or Xbox Game Pass subscription. Now, there is a DLC. There's a free chainsaw skins pack. I don't know if that's a permanent freebie, but right now you can go on the Xbox Store, download 3 skins for your chainsaws for free. And then this is what narks me, and this is the worst thing about this game. There's a DLC pack for the Slaughter Family Execution Pack 1. This is £5.79 in the UK. So that's what, $6-7 nearly. And all it is 1 kill animation for each of the killers extra. And I think that's a bit of a rip-off. I mean, I'm all for supporting games with like paid skins every now and again if you enjoy them. But nearly £6 for basically 1 kill animation that you might not see every time you play. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit much. I mean, what does chat think? I'd love to know what chat thinks of this, because I think I'd like the Evil Dead game. It has paid DLC, which is like premium costumes and a couple of characters, and I'm fine with that. Dead by Daylight brings out new maps and character packs, but even then, the maps are free. They're free to everyone. It's just the characters are locked, so you can still play with people with these characters on the new maps. You just can't experience the premium characters. And I'm all for that for a licensed IP, because like I say, you've got to pay the bill somehow, you've got to cover the cost of the license, especially for a game that's ongoing. But I feel like £6 for some animations that's a bit
rip off.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how much the people are actually playing these games, because some people might pick 1 or 2 games like that are multiplayer to really invest their time in, and I think if they're doing that, then that type of purchase isn't going to matter as much to them.
They're all downloaded. All the videos are downloaded, Stubbs. Just in answer to your question, this one looks nasty because it was stream. It's the download of the original stream me and BMG did. So obviously you've got a lower bit rate when you're streaming live, and then I used that footage to do my video review because I didn't see the point in getting more footage when I already had some, and then I downloaded that video and just cut the intro and intro out, so we only had like a 10-minute snippet basically, and it showed a bit of everything off for this. So it's like third-hand footage. This game's footage. It looks so much better. I don't want people to be put off by slightly like stream footage. It looks so much better in when you're playing it on your console. Well, on the Xbox Series X and S. I haven't played it on an Xbox One. Thimber's got it. I don't know what you think, Thimber. Does it look detailed and lush and stuff on the Xbox One? So
yeah, very well detailed.
Hey, Thimber, what you might do is you might record some gameplay and just send it to us, so we can check it out.
Yeah, we could do a comparison maybe. So
yeah.
Have you played it, Sentinel?
No, I'm not really into like asymmetrical games. I'm just not. I've tried them before. They just weren't my thing. It does sound like this is a little better though, because always the issue with the asymmetrical games was always like 4 versus 1. And, like Ash had mentioned, you play as the killer, he's by himself. But at least with this, you got multiple bad guys and multiple good guys. So I might check it out, just because you're not a killer by himself.
Yeah, it's more fun when there's a group of you playing. But
so much more fun. So much more fun.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. It is good. It is good fun. It can be a bit long-winded some matches because you tend to, you're always in a crouch position. You have to actually run to stand up and run, otherwise you just crouch everywhere. But I think they could do with speeding up because some matches can go on for a while, whereas like every time Grandpa wakes up, once they give him more blood, his level goes up and then gets to a point where he's maxed out, and then the killers can just see where you are. But they could probably do with speeding that up a little bit so it happens a little bit quicker.
Victims can mess Grandpa up and lower his level as well, I believe.
Yeah,
we never got a chance to I never really bothered with him. I just sort of avoided him, and when it was like Grandpa's awake, I went a bit slower. Do you know what I mean? But you can interact as a victim to sort of fight back as such.
Right.
So yeah, I blame things like Fortnite and stuff. Do you know what? Fortnite, I don't even care. Like Fortnite, they redo their entire world every sort of 6 months, make it new and upgrade the graphics. If they're going to charge 10 quid or 15 quid for a skin and people pay it, that's fine. It's not like animations. Animations is like the core bit of the game for me. So
yeah. Well, and you know what? It's like you can say Fortnite, but I think Grand Theft Auto Online is more guilty of that type of stuff.
Oh my god, isn't it just? That's less a game and more just a giant shop.
Shitfest.
Like you start, that as well. You switch the game on and it's just like a shop. You don't even get into a game. You have to go through the store to get into the game. Could you imagine any other game doing that? Like you boot up, imagine booting up Halo, and when the menu pops up, it's just the shop, and then in the bottom in little writings, it's like play the game now. People would lose their shit, but it's fine for Grand Theft Auto. So
yeah, Stubbs, it's always like that with YouTube because from when we're talking about stuff to when we see the chat can be anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. That's YouTube.
Yeah, you've got to think, Stubbs, when we're talking now, it's then got to process it at my end on my internet, upload it, stream it, and then you guys watch it once YouTube processes it live. So that when we read chat, it's always in the past for us. So
yeah,
it's not as bad as when we did the Game Awards the other day. Oh my god, the Game Awards! It went from people were like 5 minutes ahead of us, like on their streams, and then by the end we were like, they were 5 minutes behind us. There were like 2 whole trailers behind, and somehow by the end of the show they were only half a trailer behind, and we're not sure how because nothing changed. So it's weird.
I think I was 2 minutes ahead of you.
Watching
Fabio
the exact same stream.
Yeah, Fabio was 3 minutes ahead of me, and then we had to like pause it to get it to the exact same point, and then it just went out of sync anyway.
I think it's just YouTube. I think that's a YouTube thing because literally we all use the exact same YouTube link to watch the official stream.
Yeah.
And literally every single one of us was watching it at a different point to say it was live. Now I'd get maybe a couple of seconds out, but it got crazy in end. I think YouTube's just a bit. It's just busy. I think it's just the nature of the beast. So.
Or it
and
was that guy for
they're
built
not.
that. Sorry, go on, bud.
Well, I was gonna say that they gotta invest in their own servers, and they're not investing enough to really keep up with the demand. That's a big problem too.
Yeah.
You know.
I just think it was the guy convince everyone Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6.
Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6 or whatever it was.
What did the guys say this year?
That was it.
Jeff Keighley.
Bill Clinton wants.
No, that was last time.
No,
that was like there were two guys.
That was this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I didn't realise until I'd watched a bit back. I know there's actually a second guy who stands on the front of the stage, like a big guy with his belly hanging out, just holding his arms in the air. And he just, what's he doing?
I saw something, and we're going to talk about Gamescom in a bit, not like the boring stuff, but I like favourite games. But I saw something that said they'd expected something like this to happen and they'd prepared for it. I'm like, where? Like, the fact that he got up on stage and was like giving Jeff a hug, and Jeff looked at him like, filthy peasant. Like, he looked at him like he was a piece of shit. Like,
He
and
Jeff.
Yeah, and I was like, if they were expecting it, you would think they would have rugby tackled him before the stage, put a barrier up in front of the stage so they had to at least climb over so they could tackle them in that second. But
I think if the guy would have been wearing a PlayStation shirt, he would have embraced him and said, "Hey, let me introduce you to a," he would have been like, "Let me introduce you to everyone."
Big thanks for the Fredo's super chat Muppet, and it's all BMG's fault. Stubbs for GTA 6. He keeps buying it every time he goes to shop. He buys another copy, whether he needs it or not. Literally half his house is built from it.
Send me a copy of GTA 6 because I don't think they've released it yet.
Oh, not GTA 6, GTA 5.
That guy who
leaked
Starfield got me a copy early.
Please, Mr. Todd Howard, please don't send me to jail. I am so sorry that I stole this game and other things.
Yeah, you know what though? I don't know why he thought that was gonna work, because it's like he didn't just steal Starfield; he was stealing shit for a long time. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Oh man! At some
it's
point,
not illegal unless until you get caught, though, is it?
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I go around like we've got like 3 big supermarkets. One of them's like Morrison's, and I was always brought up on the rule: if you finish it before you get to the till, it's free.
Wow. Oh my god. Go to the front, you can barely walk and you're like, oh, I hate so much.
We'll try some ultra low latency, see if that makes it any better. Let me know. Yeah. I have twiddled with some settings, so do let me know in chat if it's improved or not. Like I say, doing my best. And going forward, I'm going to try and get the chat on the screen again. I know we used to be able to do that easily with StreamYard, but it's more difficult with OBS. But it's on my wish list. It's just I haven't had time with work and stuff like that to be able to sort of really go into it. But it is a planned sort of feature to bring back, because we love interacting with chat, and it was so easy just to flick it on screen. But honestly, you wouldn't believe the price of StreamYard for the quality we were getting. I think, what was it costing us? Like $45 a month just to stream at 1080p. And what for? Because it wasn't that great. And when we tried to stream, like restream a show like live, the footage, and you guys have watched us live, the quality of the stream was shocking for the video. Even though like on our screen in StreamYard it looked great, when it was on YouTube it was really stuttery. And I have raised that with StreamYard, and they said they were going to look into it, but it's not worth what they want to charge, unfortunately. So we're going back to the good old-fashioned way. But yeah, just let us know if the quality's all right. Like I say, we can only improve as we progress, basically. So, before we showcase our next game, one other thing we want to do on this show is spotlight upcoming or like existing deals on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about one quickly before we go on to our second game. This is a Xbox deal that's just launched this week. Let me just get it up because this is live on my Xbox. So this is the DreamWorks Kids Bundle. Obviously, this is more for kids. It features 3 DreamWorks games. You've got Dragons, Dawn of New Riders, Spirit, Lucky's Big Adventure, and Troll Hunters, Defenders, Arcadia. It's $19.99, and like I said, I own all these anyway for being an ambassador, but you basically get 2 games for free, and all the profits are going to UNICEF. So UNICEF is a really cool charity, and you definitely should check it out. So from August 25th to 10th of September, it's only a limited time deal, and 100% of the net profits go to UNICEF UK, which support like children and stuff. It's a very cool charity. So if you've got kids, and I'm not saying this will be for most of the people in our chat, but if you've got kids and you want some kids games that are decent enough, check out the DreamsWorks Kids Bundle on Xbox. I will also be streaming this one day this week. I'm thinking of streaming the Dragons game because I haven't actually played it yet. So I'll probably do a live stream of that just in support of the UNICEF partnership. So that's the first deal we're going to talk about, and then we're going to go into our next game spotlight. So this one came out on Game Pass day one. This one was recommended by a channel member. So the plan is going forward, we're going to do 3 game spotlights each show. Now, 2 of them will be chosen by us. A third one can be suggested by the community. If you're a channel member on YouTube, you can subscribe for 99p a month. You get access to exclusive videos, emotes and stuff like that. You can post up on our community page some suggestions, and the one we're going to talk about is Everspace. That was suggested by Thimber, and this is Everspace 2. Obviously, it's just come out, so we're going to have a quick look and see what we think of it. Now, I've only played about an hour and a half of this so far. It has multiple difficulty levels as well, from very easy, all the way up to like stupidly hard. So you can play it however you want. I know you've played this a bit, Sentinel, already. I don't think you've got to the end of it, but I know you have been playing it.
Yeah, the new Everspace, I think it's Everspace 2, right?
Yes, Everspace 2, the new one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It handles very well. There are some games in space where it's, and I've had a few games in space. There was one that came out some years ago where it was difficult. It was just because you're always drifting, but it has some. It feels like it has some quality of life improvements that makes navigating in space a lot easier, to where you're not having to constantly fight against that inertia, because in space, obviously, once you go in a certain direction, you're going to be drifting in that direction, and then you end up it's hard to control your trajectory. But with this game, it feels like they limit how realistic it is to a point, and that's nice in a game. You don't want a true space sim because that's going to suck. But it feels like they have quality of life improvements that make it a lot easier to really enjoy the game. And the storyline, so far from what I've seen, is actually pretty interesting. And of course, combat is not that difficult. It's pretty decent, so it seems fun. It's just I've had so much on my plate, I haven't had enough time to really dive into it, but it is one of those games I am planning on coming back to.
Yeah, I'm same. I've played I think I'm about an hour and a half in now, but there's just so much out. I'm trying to sort of juggle between what I want to play. What I can say is when you're in space, this game looks absolutely fantastic. Like it just has a beautiful view. The lighting and everything from like the sun and everything in the distance looks great. The ships are detailed. It just looks great, and it handles really nicely as well. I'm trying to think of what game it reminds me of, but when I played it, I was like, this really feels like another game I've played. I don't know if it was like Jedi Starfighter or something like that back in day, but it just felt really, really smooth. The space, like traversing, like you can hover up and down, you can like barrel roll and stuff like that. It was really simple, but it felt really cool. And you have like a feeling of like a bit of weightlessness to your ship. So I quite liked it. And then the story, obviously the gameplay is all set in space. However, you're not just doing combat missions. There is a lot of fights, and they are pretty cool. And there's tons and tons. I mean, the first battle you come out of this crater, and there's enemies all over the place, flying all over, and it looks amazing, and you have to lock onto them and stuff. But there's missions where you're just doing like generic missions in space as well, which is cool. and then it's all sort of linked together with like cutscenes that are all like hand drawn. I thought was pretty cool as well. Some people will probably moan about that and say, "Oh, it's low budget," but this isn't a AAA game. However good the actual like in-game like looks, this is still only like I won't say indie, but it's not AAA, so I can live without them having like fully 3D cutscenes and stuff like that, especially when you don't actually go into any indoor environments in the game, or I haven't yet anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, have you played this yet, BMG?
No, it's not. It's not been on my radar. Not a smatter fancy. I've got a few things installed that I want to play. I downloaded that Age of Empires 4.
Yeah, Fabio's got that as well installed, so we're gonna have to have a stream of that. So if you want to join us, Sentinel, we'll have to try and fit it in one night.
But I've got, like I say, I've got stuff sat there waiting, but I'm holding off for the main course on Friday. So
which we'll talk about very, very soon. But for anyone interested, this game is available right now. It's priced at $44.99 on Xbox and probably on other consoles as well. It's an Xbox Play Anywhere title, so you can also play it on PC as well as Xbox consoles. It's playable on Xbox Series X and S consoles only, so it's current gen only. And it's also on Xbox Game Pass, so that's PC Game Pass and normal Game Pass. And honestly, if you're really into your space shooters, I highly recommend it. It's a bit sad that it's coming out like 2 weeks before Starfield, and I think it's going to get forgotten, which is a shame, which is one of the reasons I want to show it off here, because yes, Starfield is probably going to be the biggest and best space game this year, but this game is really good and deserves all the praise it gets. So it's on Game Pass. Give it a try if you're into it. Or even if you're just into like space combat games, you'll probably really enjoy it. But yeah, I just don't want to see it go by the wayside. But I feel like because it's a $44.99 game, a lot of people might just hold off and wait for Starfield because you can just buy the upgrade and play it through Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? So it's a shame. It's a shame, but if you do get time, you could do worse than playing this game. Honestly, it's pretty fun. What's all the noise? I think that was either BMG or Sentinel doing the dirty.
it's Sentinel, it's not me. I've got noise suppression cancellation because my hay fever's playing up, so I'm sniffling and everything.
Stubbs can hear everything. He's like outside your room. Sentinel's like, I see you, I hear you.
He'll have his tinfoil hat on with a little antenna that sticks out, connects to his satellite that he has holding up by a kite, and watching Sentinel.
He's probably still got better internet than I have at the moment, though. Honestly, it's shocking. Honestly, I'm having. Do you know what? I've had the worst week technology-wise, so my internet's shit anyway. But
These get Starlink.
my Sea of Thieves external finally gave up the ghost, and I was so gutted. So I use that for my recordings and my media. So I've lost like 6 months of movies that I had saved and stuff. They're not the end of the world. They're replaced, but I can just re-download stuff. But I lost a handful of footage I'd recorded. Only backup footage, nothing that I needed desperately. It was just like extra stuff and just odd things. And I can't get it to work. It just shows up as bad partition or something. And I've tried every recovery technique I can find, so I think it's just given up the ghost now. So I bought another one. I bought a 5 terabyte Seagate external USB 3.0, plugged it into my Series X and S. It started showing up on the thing, and then it was like, you need to format this to the what is it, NFTS or something, to be able to record on Xbox. Did that, plugged it back in. Doesn't show up at all on the hard drive list. But I can copy, if I record footage directly onto the Xbox, you can record like 5 minutes at max. I can copy them onto it, and then I can also watch my films on it on the media player. And then today it started showing it up again on the list, but it still tells me I need to format it. So for some reason, I think it's just an Xbox software glitch. It's saying I can't record to it for like capture footage, but it's fine for media. So I'm just going to use it as a media device. I think now I'll save all of my movies and stuff I want to watch and everything onto that, and watch them through my Xbox as media player. and then I'm just gonna have to keep using my capture card to capture footage. It's just an extra thing I have to plug in and switch on. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Plus, I can capture like unlimited amounts then, and also I plug it into stream most nights anyway, so win some, you lose some. But it has frustrated me, and I've messaged support and had no reply. No one online seems to know or anything like that. Really, really annoying. Yeah, Age of Empire 4 does look great, Thimber. It's the one of the Age of Empires I haven't really played properly, so I'm looking forward to playing it. We're going to do a stream this week. I don't know what day it'll be. It won't be tomorrow because I'm at AEW All In, and probably not Monday because I'll be recovering. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of those days, we will probably do a stream. I know Fabio wants to join. Anyone in chat's welcome to join as well, as long as you've got it on Xbox. It's on Game Pass, so you're welcome to join. I think it's
You might
8 player, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think it's 6 online co-op. I think it's 6
Or
co-op.
versus. We could do like 2v2v2, 3v3.
Yeah. Hey, you might see Luke Steele tomorrow. He's going to
he's
AEW
down in London already. I'll message him, see if he's around anywhere when I get down. But we're going to get down there about an hour before the show. I'm driving down. It's like 3.5 hour drive. Stopping for a piss and a sausage roll or something. I don't know. Whatever's at the services. But
are you going to go in your Greg's outfit? Greg's
no,
socks
my mate. I'm paying for fuel, so my mate's bought alt snap. So it's whatever he's packed. But I assume it'll be like packets of sausage rolls, and so like when you go to Asda and there's those like 3 for £5 packets of things to eat, like pepperoni parcels and stuff. I assume it'll be that sort of bollocks. Finger food, packets of crisps and shit. Yeah, so
already looks like it's been fingered before you eat it.
Yeah, it tastes the same though. It's all good. But yeah, I highly recommend Everspace. Back on topic a little bit. It is fun. I'm terrible. This is me right at the beginning of the game. I'm just banging off at walls and everything. But I did really enjoy it. It's a really fun little game. So, BMG, do you want to highlight some of the PlayStation sales? I can't see them on my screen right this second, so you're going to have to read through a couple.
Right. Let me find them because I did send a link. Yeah, because we're just looking at different deals that are coming out on the different consoles. Yeah, being XPN, it's for Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. So it's just like highlighting things that are coming up, stuff that could be finishing soon. And obviously there's loads and loads and loads of games and things on sale at the moment. So it's not about just listing them all, reading them all out, because we'd be here forever and a day. So it's just like picking a handful, which I think may or may not interest people, but it's like ones that sort of caught my eye and I was sort of interested in and think other people would be interested in. Before I just read them though, there was, I think it was yesterday, there was an announcement that from VGC that PlayStation are having another offer. I think it's £75.
Yeah, I've seen that over here now. Some of my local game shop, like indie game shop, has got that offer as well. So that it's not just the big stores getting it. So that's good. No. Really good time to buy it. They're definitely clearing it out, ready for the revision later this year.
Yeah, definitely. But if you are in the market for PS5, because some retailers are actually offering up to £100, €100. So have a shop around if it is something you're looking for, because if even £75 or £100 that you can save off them, it's quite a big saving, especially because, believe it or not, we're not far off Christmas. It's approaching fast.
I want to get my kids Switch Minis, the light ones.
I've got 2 of them.
Yeah, but I'm going to get them in Black Friday when it's like they always do really good deals on Black Friday, so I'm just going to pick 2 up then, because not only do I have to get 2, I have to buy 2 of the games for them, so I need to get 2 more copies of Minecraft, 2 more copies of whatever else they play together. So
yeah, you'll have to get that family plan for, because I'm sure that'll be on offer.
To be fair, I don't really want to play online.
Yeah. It's a sticky one.
That,
yeah.
So.
Oh, that's fair. So these offers, the ones that I've listed here, couple of games, it's up to 75% off. The ones that I've picked are between 60% and 75% off, and the offers end on the 5th of September. So you have to check your region. Picked one of my favourites, because it is one of my favourites. Destiny 2 2023 collection, $19.99, and that's what I think that's down from. I think it's usually about £50, and that's obviously the base game. Gives you Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and Shadowkeep. So you're getting 3 paid expansions, and they're like £40 each. So you've good saving there. And Lightfall is also $19.99, which is also like a £40 DLC. I also got Red Dead Redemption 2, because obviously there's a lot of talk with that at the moment. The Ultimate Edition is currently $26.99, which is it's for the Ultimate Edition. Sentinel, you're a big Red Dead fan, aren't you? I'm assuming the Ultimate Edition at $26.99 is quite a good deal.
Red Dead 1, yes. Red Dead 2, no.
I'm so disappointed by that Red Dead. Really, we knew it was going to be that, but I'm still disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fan of Red Dead Redemption 1 because it's a lot more fun. Red Dead Redemption 2 would put me to sleep. Because they strive for realism and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, it's just so much realism in it. It's more like a cowboy sim and less like a Western action game.
So he wasn't a fan of the horse testicle mechanics?
No. Definitely was not. Now, I know some people were, but yeah, I was not a fan of that. I was like, what the hell is this crap?
Apparently, if you got in at a certain angle, you could see the individual hairs on the testicles.
I'm sure you could. Proof that Rockstar Games right now has their head firmly up their ass.
Oof.
That's just I'm just calling it how it is. I mean, Rockstar Games within the past 5 to 10 years is so much less than they were during the previous 10 years, from like 2013 to 2003. There's so much less.
They've just lost another creative director, haven't they? He's just recently left of 16 years. So there's a lot of people jumping ship.
I could talk all day long about Rockstar Games because I watch it somewhat closely. But
we don't want to hear you getting blacklisted for the future with them. So
yeah.
So another one, which is a game that came out this year, which was done by the actual original creator of Dead Space. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he left EA to start his own studio, and that is Callisto Protocol, currently $27.74, which is a new horror game released this year. I think it just released a month or so before Dead Space remake. I've heard a lot of good things about it. If you like your gore and your violence and finding very crazy ways to mutilate people or aliens and that, you'll absolutely love it. So that's a good one to call out. I know Dead Island 2's out. It's been out for a bit. Price is still a bit high on that, but if you're ever interested in going back playing the first game,
no.
Definitive edition of Dead Island 1, $2.99. $2.99.
Yeah, Dead Island 1 was crap. Dead Island 2 is phenomenal. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I'm saying is that budget's tight. People, just looking for games like go look at UK Tazos. He's playing original Xbox.
If your budget is tight and you're thinking about playing Dead Island 1, just go buy yourself a sandwich. Much better investment.
best advice: just go buy yourself a sandwich.
Yep.
And the usual collection of games that are always on sale. Anytime there's a sale on Xbox and PlayStation, and this is also an Xbox one as well. BioShock Collection, $8.99, which is usually like I think it's like £60 for all 3 in the collection. So the fact that you can get it again, it's on the sale for $8.99. First game, absolutely amazing. It still holds up today. I think on the Series X, it's got the auto HDR, if I remember rightly. So it's 30 frames, but it's looking a lot crisper, and it still holds up as standard anyway. So it's definitely worth picking up if you haven't played the BioShock collection. The second one was okay. Third one was all right, but it's never quite caught that magic of the original game, because BioShock is, the twist, at the end, and it's like, well, it's that sort of KOTOR, whoa moment, when you discover the ending of that. And I won't spoil it, KOTOR, because at some point in the next 30 years, the remake's coming out, so don't want to spoil it yet. And the last one on the list, The Quarry. We're getting up to spooky season. People like these story-driven narrative games and that's currently £24.74, which again it is on the on the PS Plus Extra, so you can get it on there. But if you're not an extra member and it's just something you want to pick up and play, again, it's quite good.
I was just about to mention that in a minute for the Xbox sale. So that is on with the games with like Xbox Live Gold sale as such. $21.44 for the Series X and S, or $19.79 on Xbox One as well. Yeah, that was one I was going to say in a minute, but yeah, I'll shout it out now.
Oh, fair enough. So just to answer Stubbs' question, isn't Shadowkeep vaulted? That's Destiny 2 expansion. No. Shadowkeep is still there and it is still active, and you get that including the Destiny collection.
Yeah, and shout out for being a member for 5 months, Stubbs. Thank you very much for the support.
Awesome to see.
So,
do you want me to do the other stuff, or just leave it at that? No, it was just the PS Plus games.
We'll talk about them in a bit, the PS Plus and Xbox Game Pass stuff in a minute. So
no worries.
But yeah, so we'll also, I'm just going to quickly highlight the Nintendo sales, because like they've currently got a multiplayer sale on at the moment. I think there's only like a day or two left, so if you want to get them quick, up to 67% off. But a couple that I want to shout out very quickly. There are some first-party games here which are never really decently on sale. So Luigi's Mansion 3, $33.29 instead of £50. Donkey Kong Country Tropical 3 is $33.29 instead of £50 in the UK. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga $16.50 instead of £50. And WarioWare Get It Together is $27.99 instead of £40. So there's some of the highlights. I highly recommend them. They're all pretty decent games. I really like Luigi's Mansion and Donkey Kong Country. So if you are if you're a Nintendo Switch fan, last chance to get them. So grab them while you can. Jumping back onto Xbox, so we've got the deals with gold. Just a couple of highlights from this for people. Mafia Trilogy, $19.99, 60% off. 3 amazing games, but the remake of the original Mafia 1 is fantastic. One of the best remakes I've ever played. It puts shame to that Red Dead remaster that's come out.
Yeah, well, because it was an early PlayStation 2 cycle game, so when it first came out, it was supposed to be revolutionary, but it kind of got overshadowed by Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
But whenever they remade it, they did such a great job. It looks like, a completely different game. Yeah. It's that much of a difference.
And also, guys, each week I'll probably use a different console, so don't think I'm favouring Xbox having it live. I can only plug one into my capture card. So this week's Xbox. Maybe next week I'll have the Switch on live to show off some of the deals, or the PlayStation, something like that. I'm trying to mix it up, make it fair to everyone. But WWE 2K23, 45% off on the cross-gen digital edition, which isn't bad. Or if you're on Xbox One only, it's also, I believe it's 45% off the Icon edition, which has a ton of bonus content. So it's like the digital edition, like the deluxe edition, plus like loads of the DLC packs.
Nice.
And there's also a Gamescom sale on at the moment. The same sort of stuff. ID Xbox sale. These are literally ending on the 28th of August. So if you are interested in any of them, I recommend getting them soon rather than later. Eternal Blade 2 is quite good at 80% off. I'm been meaning to pick it up for ages now. There's loads. I could be here all day talking about cool indie games. Beacon Pines, it is on Game Pass. It's a fun little game, but it's on sale as well. There's loads. You could be here all day. Xbox is starting to get a load of fantastic indie games. I really want to play Desert Child, and while it's 70% off at £2.87, I'm tempted to pick it up. If you're into your Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, you can save 20% as well. You want it. This is one of BMG's favourites. Also, Farm Together is a really cool game. How much is that? £8.37, 50% off. It's a fun farming, like chilled farming game, but you can actually play it local co-op, which is really cool. So check these sales out. They all end on a Tuesday. I'm tempted to pick up Garbage Pail Kids as well, because it's like the SNES version or the NES version re-released. So, I mean, who doesn't want garbage pail kids. I don't know why. It just always retro appeals to me. But yeah, check them out.
'Cause you're
There's
old.
absolutely loads. Loads and loads and loads. There's too many to list, but yeah, indie games are fantastic. Rain on Your Parade is another fantastic one as well. So let us know in the comments. Is there any games you guys would recommend through the sales? Meisuko picked up a game called Root Letter, a visual novel game on PlayStation for a very good price, €3. So definitely check that one out. Let us know, yeah, what do you guys think? There's so many, there's so much out at this moment in time. So we could be here all day talking about the ins and outs of stuff. Right, let's move on to our next topic because I know time is getting on. We're going to talk quickly about wrestling and movies. I apologize, guys. I know you're all like, I want my games. That's all I want. I don't want to hear about anything that isn't a plastic box I can fight with over the internet. But it's life. We picked this week the new Spider-Man film to talk about. Did you get around to watching it, BMG?
Yes, I finished watching it a couple of hours ago. It was a good film. I did enjoy it. It was. I wouldn't have said. I would have said the first one was better. The first film was better. The second one was good. There was a lot of Easter eggs in there, a lot of nostalgia in there. You know, you got to see the likes like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. You saw when it comes through the window, you see Genki playing Spider-Man 2. Don't know if you noticed that on the screen on the left-hand side. He was playing a bit of Spider-Man 2 there. You saw actually Spider-Man 2 in where all the Spider-Man where they're going, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? You? You know, where they're all pointing at each other. You saw him there.
That is funny as out, that one. I do.
Yeah.
I love how they lean into the memes and stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was quite nostalgic to see all these different Spider-Men for different universes. They even refer to Doctor Strange and Tom Holland in Spider-Man. What was it called? Away from Home? No, not Away from Home. Far from
Away
Home. Something like Away Home. Something like that. The one, the Doctor Strange one in the... they refer to them on there because they're Earth 2099, I think they are,
Yeah.
which is very strange. It's very confusing, all these different Earths. But I don't like the way the film ended. I really pissed me off.
I hate two-part films.
Yeah, that really pissed me off because I thought, right, we're getting right into it now. You know, it's because it took quite a while to really get into what the main sort of the story is. And then just as it's ramping right up, you're thinking, you know, it's going to hit this climax now, and it's just like, to be continued. You're like, you motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. I just paid $13.99 for this bastard, and I can't even see the fucking ending of it.
I don't mind, like, a to be continued film when it's going to be a quick sequel. Like, I'm assuming that Zack Snyder film they announced at Gamescom where the second part or the third part, they're out every couple of months, like 3 months between. I can live with that. I don't want to, ideally. I'd rather you just finish the story, but I can live with it. But when they're like, to be continued, and then you're like, it was like that's like watching the second Hobbit film. Is it the second one? Yeah, the second one where they get there and then they finally get to the dragon, they unleash him, and it's just like the end, to be continued. Like, oh, you mother. And then they kill the dragon off, spoilers, in the first 10 minutes of the fucking third film. You could have had that as the end of the second film and had this epic conclusion, and then just put 10 minutes of filler into the next film about the war of the five armies. I hate stuff like that. To be continued is the worst. Absolute worst.
They've sort of said, because obviously writers and film strikes are on, there's only a couple of studios that have sort of come to the table to the agreements, or there are smaller things that are starting to start production and things again, but all your main stuff and the stuff that things that we would be more aware of, none of that's going ahead yet. And I think the next parts of the Spider-Man film, which we knew there was a third one, but didn't realize it was a continued, like a second part to the second film. I think they said about 2026 if things don't start rolling soon, because they can't get any of the actors, they can't get any of the animators, they can't get any of the writers. So it's going to be a while off, and then it's going to be like, will I even be interested by then?
I just want to say, come on, Disney, and all you massive conglomerate FUCKs, pay your staff, pay your writers. Did you see that whole thing? The whole thing Disney are kicking off about is for 0.18%, so 0.18% of their annual revenue is what these strikes are about. And Mr. What's his face? Do you know what? I used to like the CEO of Disney before he came. Yeah, before he came back, he's sitting there with his 25 million a year pay, letting all his staff go, cancelling and deleting all the movies off of Disney Plus, and you're like, you can't pay him. His entire wage for the year would pay all of the writer strikes, pretty much. Think that in mind, guys. Greedy. And then Netflix's CEO or whatever came out and went, well, we want to pay him right, but we don't want to agree to their terms because then we'll have to pay everyone everywhere the same, like, fairly as well. It's like, stop being stingy. You've got 100 million subscribers, you tight shits. You need a better business model if your business plan can't work without ripping people off and underpaying people. So I have...
well, they're bringing in that password sharing thing, same as Netflix next year, aren't they?
I've cancelled. I saw a post today on Twitter, what's released this week on Disney Plus, and it's the saddest post I've ever seen. It's like 2 episodes of Ashoka, which I am interested in, but that's about it. And then like 1 episode of 2 other programs. That's it. And they think that's... Who has the bollocks to put that up as a weekly look at all the great shit you can watch on Disney Plus post?
Whereas Netflix, they've got stuff constantly. Has anyone watched the Tyson Fury Netflix thing
No,
yet?
I'd rather sit on pins.
No, but if you do watch it, that's my hometown. That's where I live. Where he lives, I am not far around the corner from him. So where you see, if you watch any of it, where it shows you the whole place, that is where I live.
And there's just if you see a shining light, it's BMG's head in the distance.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. I ran across the camera streaking, but I think they cut that bit out.
Oh, shame.
Going streaking to the gymnasium.
Apparently, Stubbs says you don't like indie games, BMG. Sorry.
I'm well, yeah. I'm not a big fan of indie games. I like these big budget AAA games because my time's limited. I don't have all this time in the world to play these side scrollers, little pixel games, little.
But they don't take
rabbits.
long. You could. I play loads. I tell you what, I played Blank, which is it was published by Gearbox. It's a co-op game where one of you plays as a wolf cub and one of you plays as like a baby deer who have been split from their family in a snowstorm. It's all in black and white, hand drawn, and then converted into 3D. It's a lovely little story, a lovely little like puzzle game, and I highly, highly recommend it. I put a video up on the channel. Anyone wants to see like my review of it?
Sounds boring.
It's not.
It's
like
an
2
awful
hours
name.
long.
What should we call our game? I know, Blank.
Yeah.
We will call our name Blank. It's just no. It's I just.
You're hyping up a game
time.
called Starfield. Where's the field? It's not. It's a stars. It's in space. Why is it Starfield?
There's loads of fields.
Sense.
You saw the fields in the trailers.
Destiny
and the
2
gameplay
makes no sense. Why do you need a second Destiny? Destiny is on its own, plural, not plural. Do you know what I mean? It's all like.
Yeah, but that's probably
Stupid.
Kotick's fault. So yeah, that is stupid. Probably Kotick. But no, yeah, I don't really play indie games. I've to be fair, would you class Don't Nod as an indie developer?
Yeah.
They're independent. So then I have played indie game. I played Vampire and it's shit.
Some of the games aren't. Some of the, like this, I say they're not AAA because they don't have massive budgets, but they aren't. They're not like indie and like they self-publish a lot. Like they always end up with deals like Xbox published, Ubisoft, Square Enix published them. Namco Bandai published one of theirs as well.
Yeah.
That's not a very good one. The Namco Bandai
No.
one. It's I bought that. I was so hyped from playing Life is Strange and the one on Xbox, and then I bought that one, that Namco Bandai one, and it's just weird. That's just that.
Yeah, but no, like Vampire, it was okay. The game was okay. I liked the setting. I liked the story of what it said was happening, but it never really built up to anything. There was no big set piece. You know, this woman's looks half diseased with this giant arm and tits hanging to the floor, and she's saying, "I'm poorly, but I'm gonna kill you." And you're like, all right, Granny, all right, sit down before you throw your rip out, and then you go to this place that you apparently got this love interest, this woman that you apparently been in love with through the game. You speak to her 3 times, and there is no love flirty connection at all. It's as cold as hell, and at the end, it's like, I love you. Don't chuck yourself in the fire. Well, we don't barely know this woman. We don't even know her. What's the what? And she just walks into the fire. No, I love you, but I've got to go. And it's like, whatever. Let's just be done with this, And it just, you can tell into like the London setting. London looks really good, and I like the if you be really an arsehole and just murder everyone and eat them all, London just goes into chaos, or you can cure them, but you don't get your blood, blah 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 blah, and it was okay, but that's about as close as an actual indie game. I think I showed interest, but by the end of it, I went out to the sea. I took my fishing rod, I caught a fish, and I slapped myself across the face with it, saying, "You'll never play this game again."
I like indie games. I've got all sorts.
Triple A.
Nah,
it's
Triple
people
A
like
got
you.
Too bloated now.
It's people like you is why we don't get better AAA games, because you're playing all this shit and thinking, well, might as well
playing
just
the same
pump out
game over
shit.
and over. You're playing GTA 5.
Well, we'll just keep pumping out shit because that's all players want to play. Shit indie games.
Whoa! Don't pick on me. He's the one. Old casino spins boy over there. He's down here on your screen, but on my screen he's over there.
Right.
And on the stream,
and that's what us poor YouTubers have to put up with. We have to play crap. We don't have a choice. We have to play terrible games sometimes.
There are some good-looking ones, like the Indie Gamer. He's quite big on all his indies and does big shows, and there are a lot of interesting ones. But when I look at the time I've got spare, where I want to put my time, and I want to put my time into these bigger games, bigger experiences, and get more for it than play a game that I might install and go, you know what? No, and I don't like it when a game makes me feel bad. Not for being bad in the game, but like
your opinion makes me feel bad. I tell you.
You know what? Just because a game is AAA doesn't mean it's not going to be flaming dog shit. Because you still have people like Andrew Wilson and Bobby Kotick and Strauss Zelnick and people like that aren't gamers. They're running the shit, and they're basically authorizing certain projects, a lot of AAA projects. They want things that they consider tried and true that can't fail, like Anthem, which fucking fails anyway.
Yeah,
because that's the problem.
There you go.
Because it's like, I know there's this whole thing now, and it's not just any one studio. There's a lot of studios doing it where. And PlayStation, I think, is making a bit of a mistake trying to put more into the whole live service thing. I think that's the bigger issue, is that they want to put all this money into things that are live service that they can just troll out and give updates to try and chase that trend. And I just don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's a model that is going to work. PlayStation do certain games, they do them really well. They sell millions and millions of copies. And they make a lot of money doing it, and you can tell there's a lot gone into it.
Let me ask you a question.
You get one.
Oh, no, let me ask you 2 questions then.
No, that what? You can't even ask me the first one, yeah. Go on.
All right. Amy Hennig and Dan Houser, where did they really earn their reputation at? What type of studio did they work for?
Well, yeah, Amy Hennig, Naughty Dog.
Yep. And, would you consider Naughty Dog a AAA studio?
I would actually place them as one of the best studios in the world.
Okay. And Dan Houser.
What did
Dan Houser?
Isn't
he a wrestler in AEW?
No.
Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. And now where did they work? Did they work for AAA studios anymore?
Well, Amy Hennig's with Skydance, isn't she? She's joined Skydance.
Is she working on AAA games?
Yeah, she's working on the AAA Black Panther Captain America game.
She's also working on independent projects. Yes, because she said specifically.
A lot of probably are.
My whole point is you can have talented people that get run out by CEOs like Andrew Wilson, because you remember Amy Hennig worked for Electronic Arts for a time, and what we're seeing in Star Wars Outlaws, she had presented beforehand a ragtag group of people in the Star Wars universe, and he came in for 5 minutes, was scrolling on his phone, shot it down without listening to much of it, and she left, right? Dan Houser got ran out because he's an old school Grand Theft Auto guy. All the Grand Theft Auto games that we like, he had a hand on. And he didn't like where this new Grand Theft Auto 6 and Grand Theft Auto Online stuff was going. He got forced out of his own company, and now he's working on an independent project. So just because it's an independent studio, just because it's an independent studio does not mean that it lacks the talent of AAA studios. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, because you can have the talent, but if you haven't got the budget, you're not going to make a big, brilliant game, are you?
So, what was the budget of Anthem?
Again, that's making BioWare doing something that they're not built for.
What was the budget of Battleborn?
I don't know. I've never heard of Battleborn.
You never heard of Battleborn?
No. Anthem. But Anthem
Battleborn was
is making BioWare a company that make these big, huge, story-driven games to make a live service game, and it's crap. But that's what I mean. Making these people make these games to chase a trend isn't. I don't agree with. I don't agree with it. Anthem could have been something amazing, but it wasn't because they're not built for them. Like Crystal Dynamics were doing. What was that trod they made out? Avengers. The single player was good. It was okay.
Let's talk about
the
Aliens.
Was awful.
Aliens Colonial Marines was
developed I love that game.
By Gearbox Software. Aliens Colonial Marines.
Sega.
Oh, you think Aliens Fireteam Elite? No, Aliens Colonial Marines.
Colonial Marines. No, it wasn't.
Marines was Gearbox.
Yeah, Colonial Marines was amazing. It was an amazing game.
Oh my god! No,
you're thinking of that other one, aren't you? Alien Isolation.
That got fixed though, didn't it? Some modder was messing with it, and it was one line in a code is why the aliens didn't react the way they were, but because the game obviously got that much trashed as it did that they won't go in and fix it.
My whole point is if you invest in a game, sure, you can have a AAA game that fails at first, but with support it can succeed. But a game doesn't have to be AAA in order to succeed. It can be a smaller experience because not everyone has a lot of time to play these, AAA experiences. Some of them play them on their phones. And I'm not an advocate for mobile.
You only play gaming. Grand Theft Auto 4. All you play is Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, my missus not bought, but she downloaded that hotel game on mobile. It's now the biggest mobile game ever at the moment with the most downloads. Oh, God, shit.
Is that the vampire one?
No, it's just like you manage a hotel, and it's just literally every 2 seconds there's an advert. To do anything, you have to watch an advert.
There's a hotel game where you build a hotel, but you're a vampire. So obviously you're going to build this hotel, but obviously you got to feed on like some of the guests and feed the guests to people and
Hotel
stuff
Transylvania
like that.
Then.
No, I don't know. It might be something on Transylvania hotels or something. I don't know. But you may build a hotel.
The main character.
No, but he's got a new film coming to Netflix.
Oh, what's his new film?
He plays an iguana. Is it called Leo? It's called Leo, and he voices an iguana.
Oh,
it's coming next. Is it next week? Or next week or week after? It's like
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler.
Google it. It's called Leo. Yeah, I saw the trailer yesterday, and it looks really funny.
Interesting.
It looks really good.
Adam Sandler.
He plays an iguana.
Oh yeah. When's it out? No.
Netflix. Is it next week? Week after?
He's a 74-year-old lizard
soon.
with a bucket list.
Yeah. Watch the trailer when you get a chance.
Oh well, watch it after the show.
Watch it when you get a chance, because it's like there's a turtle in there with him as well. It's like turtles, but he's scratching his ass on his pillow.
Bugger.
November. I thought it was next week. I don't know why I thought next week, but yeah, you have to watch that.
You also thought Starfield was out like 2 days ago. That's why we had it on the thumbnail.
So, because I was getting ahead of myself.
So, before we jump into like the wrestling talk, do you want to just talk about Starfield? This is why we haven't got like a third proper spotlight game this week, because BMG, I haven't been really paying attention because I've been so busy. BMG's like, we'll do Starfield. I'm getting it before the show. And obviously Starfield's not actually out till before next week's show, guys. So, BMG, tell me all about Starfield and everything that you like about it. Go on. Tell us.
Well,
how excited are you for the spotlight of this game? Fool of a two.
I don't like the start screen. It looks awful. Absolute awful. Who, you could tell they don't care about the game. They're not interested in it when they rush it out that quick. No, I'm only joking. But no, it's we saw last year. I saw the first gameplay of it, and it did not look well. Didn't run well. The shooting mechanics were off. Things were just like dunking in through the ground, through the terrain and stuff, and stuttering. Didn't play well, didn't look well, and it got a lot of criticism, which ended up in the end getting the game getting delayed, probably due to a number of factors and the public reaction to the game. Like they did with Halo, they delayed Halo because of Craig and some other bugs, and then it came back and looked a lot better, played a lot better, and then we got the reveal of Starfield again. Had its own showcase where they pretty much gave us just a glimpse of some of the things you can do, and my hype levels are high. Skyrim, I played for years and years across the consoles, and it's just one of them games that just sucked me in because there's always something new, there's always something to find, something crazy to happen, and just like there's the customization options, obviously your character, your traits, you pick good stuff, bad stuff, you can have, I think one of them what we saw was you could have a hero complex, I think it was called, and if anyone who's played Skyrim and played Oblivion, you'll remember the superfan, the elf with the flaming hair that's obsessed with you and just wants to follow you and be with you no matter where you go and do anything for you. And they brought that.
In Starfield, isn't it?
Yeah, they brought it back. They obviously made him human, but you can see the features and the voice. The voice is the same, so and you can just have this companion who just worships you, following you around and things like that. But yeah, 1,000 planets. The story's obviously going to take place over, I'm assuming, so many of them. Pete Hines, did an interview. He's 150 hours into his playthrough, and he says he's nowhere near the end. He's because of all the stuff he's been doing, and he sort of said the bulk of the game and all the really, really juicy good stuff of the game doesn't happen until you finish the main quest. Apparently, once the main quest is done, the whole thing opens up and all this new stuff opens up. And they're doing something different. He didn't go elaborate, but there's going to be a new game plus, but it's going to be a completely different kind of new game plus, like some of the no one's ever seen before. So what that means, who knows? And the fact that from day one, modders can even make their own planets, quests, storylines.
For the PC version, we'll have to say, because it's not been confirmed for Xbox.
No, but
hopefully it comes soon, though.
Yeah, hopefully. They just mentioned day one they're going to be able to make these mods and things, and there's going to be stuff available. And obviously we're going to see that bleed across into the consoles as well, in some capacity, whether it's all or part, who knows. But just the hype's there for the game. Space combat looks fun. Customize you can literally make any kind of ship you want, anything, get all your resources and stuff and anything you need and build any kind of type of ship you want. You could build the Millennium Falcon if you want the Millennium Falcon. Be a smuggler. You get devices to hide stuff because you go into different planets and they've got security where they scan your ship to make sure you haven't got contraband, so you got to hide stuff. And you can do like with Skyrim. You obviously got your main quest, your main story, and then you got all your factions, your different factions. Like there's like the Crimson Fleet and Constellation and a few others. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but you can do all them stories independently like you could in Skyrim. So in Skyrim you could become Archmage, head of the Mages Guild, you can be the head of the Thieves Guild, head of the Fighters Guild, head of oh god, what were they called? What were the Night Brothers? Was it Night something? Can't remember the name of it. You're pretty much an assassin. The Assassin's Guild, we'll call it that. So you can run them all independent, and you won't get locked out of anything. So you're not going to miss anything if you do one full faction and join another. You're not going to get locked out of certain content because you made certain choices. You'll still be able to do them all, which is a plus because I'd had seen a lot of people were asking, are you going to be able to do this? And it's definitely worth watching. This all happened at Gamescom. There's the full interview with Phil Spencer talking about it, Todd Howard. But the Pete Hines one I would highly recommend listening to because it does give you quite a lot of info. And obviously, embargo doesn't lift until the 31st of August, which is next Thursday. and so no one's really giving any impressions, apart from a couple of idiots that have said a couple of things that what the game is, but what they think of the game, which I won't say. But Pete Hines pretty much gives his point of view because he can do what he wants, and he's really, it's by all accounts, it's going to be a huge big game that's going to take hours upon weeks of months of my time.
To me, that I'm the opposite, because like, it looks like a great game. It's probably going to be fantastic, but I ain't got that much time in my life to commit to one game. Like, I like to play a lot of things. I like to experience a lot of things, and I couldn't imagine the only game I've sat for over 100 hours for. No, I think there's two. I think I spent, between me and my son, we spent over 100 hours in Forza Horizon 5 or 4, it might have been, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But I couldn't imagine doing it in like many games, and I see that like 100+ hours, and I'm like, I could play like 20 indie games fully and have time to spare in that same time as one game. So I'll probably play it. Will I play it at launch? No. Like I said, I haven't really ever got into Skyrim because of it. I played Oblivion and Morrowind, but my priorities of life have changed. I only have a few hours a night to play stuff. So
no, but that can be, see, that's an option. You don't have to go and do all these things. You don't have to go and see these thousands.
I know, but then
you could just do the main story.
Game.
Yeah, but you could just do the main story or do part of the story and then go off and do all the bits.
I have to complete everything. I have to complete all the side quests. I'm a stickler for it.
See,
that's why I put so much time into Assassin's Creed. Like only about 50 hours of Valhalla was the story. The rest of it's been doing stupid side quests and stuff like that.
It broke Redders. Absolutely destroyed Redders in that game. He just, I think he just sat in the corner and cried.
It's probably one of my favourite games of all time. I'm not saying in terms of gameplay it's the best game of all time, but like the female character of Ava, anyway, I don't particularly care for the male one, but the female character and everything and the setting, and it's great. It's just filled with too much bloat, and I tend to I'll jump on, I'll do like a chunk of story, or I'll do the story and then I'll go back and I'll do the side missions. Like I'll play for like 5 hours every now and again. Like I haven't played in a few weeks, but I'm probably going to go back and put another few hours in just to try and trim a few more. But I couldn't do that with everything. Like I loved Harry Potter, but I still didn't get to the end of Hogwarts Legacy yet because it's just so long. I ain't got that much time. I'd much rather play a very solid 5 to 10 hours experience than a masterpiece at 100 hours. But that's just my personal. But I'm not saying Starfield's going to be bad. I think it's going to be probably one of the best games of the year in terms of ratings. And will it?
It depends, though.
Probably not. But
no. But this year we don't know if it's even going to be a good game. From what I'm going off from what I've seen, what they've talked about, and it gets my hype up. But that is what they do. They hype the game up, make it sound the best thing since sliced bread, and they do. And obviously, I got the week wrong, but Friday coming. And Sentinel's the same. I noticed Sentinel bit the bullet as well. There's also got early access for the Starfield, so we're both going to be. I'm assuming you're going to be playing it on Friday, Sentinel.
Yeah.
Someone buys me, I'll play it, but I'm not rushing to get the early access. I just don't think I'd get my money's worth personally. That 30 odd quid, I'd probably play it for about 10 hours at best. And I've got a huge list of games I want to play, not just for reviews. I've got a load of reviews. I've got games I've got to stream, and then there's just so much stuff coming out. I've got on my list, and I've already got like a backlog of things I want to play that I haven't even had time to play yet. So it just never stopped. I just picked up Martha is Dead. I want to play through that. There's loads.
Yeah.
So.
But I'll only keep with one, especially with RPGs. I start one and I only play one RPG because I can't flick between them.
Yeah.
I'd stick with one. So Starfield's going to be my one that's going to be my RPG game. Don't mean I'm going to be playing it every day 24/7 because there are other games I want to play. Assassin's Creed Mirage has been moved up to the 5th of October. So really looking forward to that.
There's the knockoff Forza game coming out, isn't there? The copy-paste crew game. That's just Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon Motorfest crew game. Did you see? I saw a guy who used to work at Playground. He'd said he'd played it at Gamescom. And he's like, it feels very much like I've seen this and played this before, and I find that interests me more because like I've got Ubisoft Plus, so I want to play it,
Yeah.
but I haven't played out like Forza Horizon since Forza Horizon, so that's going to really tick a box for me as such. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got like you got Spider-Man 2's out this year, out in October. Alan Wake 2, there's a lot of people excited for that. You got Baldur's Gate. We know it's dropping 5th of September or 6th of September for PlayStation. Xbox, they have said it is coming out this year, but they haven't said when, have they? They haven't given a date when. They've just said it's going to come out this year. Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox.
And also they tweeted out in response to someone that they are working to try and bring split screen to the Series S. It just won't be there at launch. So that's good as well.
But they haven't said it's going to launch same day, which I'm assuming it wouldn't. Because I don't think
they don't want to go up against Starfield. But
no, not the same.
We did wind Thimber and Fabio, even though they're the same person, up quite a bit on the Discord the other day when we were on about the whole Series S not having split screen because it's a subpar machine. Even though we're only joking, but I just want to say that it is coming though. They have said so.
Yeah, I think you'd probably see that as maybe October, November game, probably more of a November game on the Xbox, or maybe why not early December? Get some Christmas sales in give more people time to get through chunk of Starfield, and maybe people want to move on. Like say, I'm hyped for it, I'm excited for it, but who says that I'll play it, get maybe 30, 40, 50 hours into thinking, you know what, I just get the story done and move on. Because you just don't know. But until you've got it in your hands, because what they're showing me and telling me hypes me, but until you're actually playing it, you don't know how you're going to feel about the game. I've been hyped on games before, actually played them thinking, you know what, I haven't got, the interest isn't there. I just don't feel what they were feeling. And then move on, or maybe come back down the line. But there are other single player games I want to play. I enjoy, so we play multiplayer games stuff. I don't mind jumping into other games, but as like an RPG, if you're trying to juggle more than one or two a year, you're just going to struggle because there's so many different mechanics. Everything's done differently. So it'll be my one RPG, and then once I'm done with Starfield, that's when I'll jump to Cyberpunk. Unless the Witcher remake comes out, then I'll be on that. But I'm hyped. Sentinel, what drove you to pick it up? So you were sort of in two minds if you were just going to wait, and then I'd seen that you posted that you bit the bullet. What kind of pushed you for it?
I was just thinking about it, and I'm a big fan of Fallout. Now, I played Skyrim, and I wasn't really a fan of Skyrim. I played it for a couple hours, I think, and it just wasn't it wasn't the type of game that drew me in. But Fallout 4 was, and I own Fallout 4 on both PlayStation and Xbox. I've played through it for hundreds of hours on both. And I was just like, you know what? Starfield is that type of game that I'm going to dedicate a lot of time to. And, other games like, it's interesting talking about the time frame, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of those games I own on both PlayStation and Xbox. I've invested that 100 hours to beat it on both PlayStation and Xbox because I enjoy the setting that it's in. Assassin's Creed Origins, I own it both on PlayStation and Xbox. I haven't beat it on either one, to be honest, because the Egyptian setting is fine, but I'm just like, I'm not, it just felt like it was too long, because I like the Egyptian setting to a point, but I didn't like it enough to invest 30 or 40 or 50 hours, however long the game is. I just, same with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think all that Norse mythology shit is overrated, but Ancient Greece, I love it.
You only like the Ancient Greece one because there's big, massive statue willies. Don't lie. That's all you like.
And you can
giant phallic willies that you can hang on to. That's what you like.
I mean, I did find it flattering that they put a statue of me in the game. That was phenomenal. But no.
What, the armless one with tits?
No.
Don't lie.
No. It has, the game has to have a good setting for me to really be drawn in. And I love space to a point. Some space games I like, some space games are kind of mid. So everything I've seen about Starfield really excites me. And I said, you know what? I got the upgrade for Forza Horizon 5 before it launched, so I could play it a few days early. I had a blast. I still play it. And I said, you know what? I said, with certain games that I really am looking forward to and I know I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to pay that little extra so I can play it early. And it's not so much, it wasn't really that I could play it early, it's that it came with other stuff. And I said, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And the
I'll pick it up.
expansion comes with the expansion when that releases.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, it's worth it. Like Far Cry 5, I bought the gold edition because it came with Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, or it came with Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, and it came with 3 expansions, and I said that's worth the price. But other games, it's like if I don't enjoy the world or I don't enjoy the franchise, for those that are already established, I'm kind of like, it's not really worth it. That's kind of what helped me to make that decision as far as Starfield and Premium Edition.
Nice.
Did you like the start screen? Did you hate it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I don't have like a screensaver or any of that other stuff, So I know some people are like super crazy about it, having like the.
Did you not see the comments for the start screen? The start screen leaked.
Oh
Starfield,
yeah, right, yeah.
And everyone was going, "Oh, and what was it? It was a game dev." Or former game dev, or something to do, some game dev. And Pete Hines replied to him, because he said they were rather
the Grums or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, they were either crunched and had to do it fast, or they just didn't care and they rushed it. And Pete Hines said, "This has been our start screen for years. Not really cool. Have your own opinion, but don't put other people's work down, especially when you're a game dev yourself."
Right. Well, I kind of think that guy got thrown out of the community and he's just lingering around on past, mid successes. So,
I didn't realize he was the guy from that MMO, the space MMO, till I saw the big bus thing. And I liked that game at launch, and then it died a quick death, unfortunately, which is a shame. So,
yeah.
It's
like, how are you going to judge a game by its start screen? Because you look at Alien Isolation. That has a very simple start screen. And that game was insane. That was crazy. It was terrifying. It was very, it's like it went from super suspenseful parts to very fast paced. And it did it very well, in my opinion. So it's like that game alone, just one out of so many examples, is proof that the start screen being simple doesn't mean that the game's going to be mid or it's going to be lackluster.
Yeah.
No, it's like get past that start screen, play the game, and then make your decision. But again, that guy talks all kinds of shit just because if he's not talking shit and pissing people off, no one cares about him. He could be on fire in front of most people and they wouldn't piss on him to put him out. So that's why he's saying stupid shit like that on Twitter. That's the only reason, because otherwise no one gives a shit about him.
You gotta love it.
From the stream, looking at the stream, Ash, we all. Oh no, it's like we've reappeared.
Yeah.
So
that's because I opened up Google Chrome to quickly get the list for the next topic I wanted to talk about, and while I had Chrome open, it decided to not show any of the things. So my bad. Anyway, we're going to quickly move on before we finish the show with the good old 20 questions. Quickly just touch on the wrestling news for this week. Unfortunately, it's not great news. We've had 2 passings this week in wrestling. Obviously, Terry Funk died earlier this year. I think he was 76 or 79.
Shit.
Obviously, he'd had a good run. Hardcore through and through. I did like Terry Funk. I know most people remember him from the old days, but do you know what most sticks out for me as a wrestling fan was the time Undertaker choke slams him out of his shoes in that Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley. Like he comes
King of
down
the Ring, 1998. Yep.
Yeah, King of the Ring, 98. He comes down to check on Mick Foley after he goes through, and on the fly, he gets choke slammed by the Undertaker, and then he spasms out of his shoes, and I'll always remember that. And then obviously he's been Chainsaw Charlie, he's been in King of Death matches and stuff. I don't have a huge connection to Terry Funk. He was a bit before my time in wrestling, but I have obviously, and when he was in WWE with like Mankind and Cactus Jack and that, he was getting on a bit, and he wasn't like his prime. And I remember watching the documentaries about him and stuff with interest, like where he kept wanting to keep wrestling, and he had a 700 retirement matches and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's sad to see him go. They did. They had a hardcore tag team match on SmackDown last night with no hardcore in it in honor of him, which was weird. Like they announced it as a hardcore match and there was nothing in it. It was so weird. But the big one this week is obviously Bray Wyatt passed away a couple of days ago, 36 years old, which is shocking. He'd been off with a life-threatening illness, was rumored to be coming back soon, and then obviously Triple H posted up on Twitter that he'd been informed by his father that he'd passed away, which is shocking. I mean, it sucks. It's crazy. I mean, he's only 2 years older than me. He had 4 kids, a wife. He's only just had another kid, to be fair. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad. And I've watched all the tributes. It's really fitting. SmackDown last night was really nice, where they had they put the chair out in the ring, the rocking chair and stuff, and then at the end of the show it closed out with like a silhouette of him in the lantern in the ring going off. Seeing Eric Rowan though, oh man, that guy's not been on telly since the last time he was on like telly on a wrestling program was when he was on the celebration show after Brody Lee died. So that's sad that the last 2 times we've seen him it's been because people have died that he's been friends with, and it must suck. But yeah, it's shocking. I'm a bit sad about it. It's come out, obviously, he died of a heart attack, which was he'd had heart problems apparently previously, caught COVID earlier in the year, and obviously that's led to having a heart attack at this point. It's not fully clear, and obviously the family wants some time and stuff, but honestly, it's really sad. Gets to me that he was so young, and it just feels like there was so much more to give, like he was just on the cusp of coming back again with something amazing. So it's a real downer, honestly, and seeing people like AJ Styles like crying on the ramp and stuff when they did the 10 bell salute and stuff really got me this week. I highly recommend watching SmackDown though. Very nice. They still did matches and stuff, and they had it like interspersed with video packages, and WWE can throw out some fantastic video packages with like no time at all. I don't know whether they've just got someone that they pay to just make packages just in case people die, because they always seem to have them on hand like 5 minutes later, which is freaky. Or there's just someone who's so good at the job. But yeah, really good, and it's really sad. I was going to be more talking about AEW All In, which is obviously happening at Wembley Stadium tomorrow, or Wembley Arena, or whatever it is. And Wembley Stadium, isn't it? Arena's over the road. And I think it's the biggest wrestling event in the UK ever, possibly the world, in terms of single night attendance. It's nearly 90,000. It's 85 and a bit or something. Crazy. I mean, the card itself isn't ideal. For me, it feels very much thrown together like a house show. I'm not the biggest AEW fan. I watch like the news about it, and I'll watch the odd pay-per-view and that, but I'm a sucker for a live wrestling show, and one this is the first AEW show in Europe, never mind just the UK and Europe, so I think that contributes quite a lot to the numbers. But yeah, we've got some good matches. Ones that stick out to me, coffin match with Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage. I'm looking forward to seeing Sting again. I haven't seen Sting since he was in TNA, so I'm looking forward to seeing him live. Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho, and we've got like a Fozzy live performance as well. I assume it's for Chris Jericho's Judas entrance theme. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the AEW Real World Championship. And there's also a Stadium Stampede match and an AEW World Championship match between MJF and Adam Cole. So there's more than that. There's loads for the matches. Do you guys even watch AEW? Because I could just be shouting shit and you're like, I don't know who any of these people are. I know BMG has knowledge of WWE because you've got the game at least. So
I do watch highlights still, and through YouTube, get the clips. I saw the Bray Wyatt stuff, obviously, which is really, really sad. The characters that he's actually played. I remember Husky when he was Husky Harris.
Yeah.
Nexus. That was, probably the lowest point for him, and as that character. But the way he developed, and he had the Wyatt family, the Fiend, and the Fiend, he was just a terrifying character. Like he just knew how to bring in an audience, and everyone with the cell phones, light torches on for the firelights, and he did some amazing things, and there was a lot more. Yeah, he was planning on a comeback. He was getting ready to come back, and had this whole plan in place and things he was going to do. And it's like there were some good tributes from people. Like the last person he wrestled was LA Knight.
Yeah.
And LA Knight, he came out and said, "I'm not saying we were best friends or anything, but but it's like the respect there and stuff like that."
He did a good promo. I watched that earlier before we did the show. I watched that SmackDown, and it's amazing how he did a promo in character, but also it was a touching tribute, and then he went straight into like his proper promo, which then linked back into a tribute to Bray Wyatt at the end.
Yeah,
and I was like, he's got some skill, that guy. Bless him.
He's good. He's good. And I've never heard of him, because it's like, I know all the old wrestlers and things like that, and I know a few wrestlers in AEW, and I watch it bits and bats here and there, but not really follow it. But some of these like new superstars and things and stuff that they're doing, and the characters that they're doing, it's amazing. I'm bored of all that bloodline stuff. I keep seeing that popping up, and I'm thinking, how much longer are they going to drag that out for? Just
forever, mate. It's never ending.
It's just ridiculous. But some stuff's really good and it's enjoyable to watch, and there's other stuff you're thinking, what am I watching? It just seems like it's filler just while the big stuff it goes ahead. But it is what it is. But AEW. I'll see little bits, one here and there. I like CM Punk. I know he's an arsehole. But
understatement of the year, that.
Yeah, but he says what he thinks. Whether people agree with it, don't agree with it, at least he comes out and says it. I know he rubs everyone in the locker rooms and stuff up the wrong way. Doesn't get on with them. And I know, obviously, he spoke a lot about it because he was on... was it Colt Cabana before he fell out with him? Did a show and he talked all about WWE and all the stuff that was going on, and they weren't paying any attention. And I don't, bits possibly overlooked, but not to the extent. I don't think to the extent he was going on about, because of they're quite strict with stuff because of stuff. Yeah,
I think that was like
exaggerated.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think. I bet some of it was true, but I bet a lot of it was, like you say, over exaggerated.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, but they do a lot. Yeah, like the whole. I think a moment I liked was the Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, that match they had, and then that completely unscripted moment at the end. I thought it was amazing. It kind of humanises more of Brock Lesnar and that,
He fought him out of his shorts. I mean, no wonder he...
Yeah, literally, yeah.
He had his cock out. Brock's cock. That's what his cock Lesnar.
That's it. The beast. That's the beast the whole time. But he was that unscripted bit. You could see like Cody's thinking, what's going on here? And then... But it was a good respect moment. It's things like that when they're coming that bit out of character when they're still... live on camera, and it's nice to see. But AEW is just
there's too much wrestling.
Yeah,
like that's my problem. Like there's Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You've then got three AEW shows. There's Ring of Honor, and then there's all the indie shows, and there's all the pay-per-views. I ain't got time for that. I've got a connection with WWE because I've liked it since I was little. So I've liked it through the good, the bad. Like, it's now back to the good again. It's the best it's been in absolute years.
I used to keep my kids off school. Watch WrestleMania and Royal Rumble.
I love that now they do it on a Saturday night as well now. Though a lot of the pay-per-views have moved to Saturdays, which is great because we can now watch it. But yeah, what about you, Sentinel? I mean, I don't know if you're a big wrestling fan, to be fair. So you obviously are because you post a lot of memes about WWE. On Twitter.
I used to be. I really used to be. I was into wrestling just as much as I was into gaming, probably from 97 to about 2007. And then I just, I don't know, I just stopped watching it. I haven't really gone back. I'm aware of some of the newer talent And I have watched some of the matches, like, but I, like pick and choose, like Brock Lesnar fighting Goldberg or Triple H fighting Brock Lesnar. Matches like that I've kind of picked and choosed. If I see a match like the Fatal 4-Way, I think with Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar and the two other guys, I saw that on Twitter. I'll check it out sometimes, but as far as watching it actively like I did back then, I just don't anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not a knock against wrestling. It's just I
Oh
have so
no,
much other
it
stuff
happens.
going on,
I stopped watching it for a fair few years, and then I ended up getting
Yeah.
Sky, and I was watching it because it was on Sky all the time, and then and then they'd had the networks. It was easier to watch, and now I don't
Yeah.
really tend to watch it weekly. What I tend to do is I watch the news updates, I'll watch the clips, and then if it looks good, I'll watch
Yeah.
like the Raw or SmackDown. But I always watch the pay-per-views. I tend to watch all of them. Like I said, I try to go to the shows if they do proper shows. I've been to every British pay-per-view for AEW and WWE now as of Sunday. Since the only one I haven't been to was the original SummerSlam in Wembley. So
Well, and it's like I subscribe to Peacock just so I can watch wrestling.
Dad,
but
shut
I'm
your
watching.
dirty mouth trying to say AEW is better than WWE. Shut that dirty mouth of yours.
What, WCW?
No, he's saying AEW is better than WWE, and
No,
I don't
I'm just
agree.
No, UK Dazarus.
No,
UK
UK
Oh,
does.
right.
UK does in chat. No, shut your
I
dirty
mean,
mouth.
it's fine if AEW is really given their all and trying to be a close second. That's good, because then that means WWE needs to stay on their A game. Because it's like when you don't have competition, then the product suffers. But if you have competition and that competition is fierce and they're trying to be better than they've ever been before, you got the big dog in the yard. Yeah, they're still in charge, but they're always trying to fill those seats. They're not just coasting.
That's what I mean. That's what WWE, since AEW started, WWE's gone on a much better. The trajectory's been great. The storylines are so much better now. Triple H is in charge of.
Well, and if you have Triple H in charge, and it's because of when he came up through the ranks.
Yeah.
Because he came up through the Monday Night Wars, so he knows what works and what doesn't, and he knows how serious it can be. Because WCW had the backing of more money than Vince McMahon could ever throw at him. But it was because of Vince McMahon's creativeness that they won the Monday Night Wars. And a lot of people who are wrestling fans now may not know that. But there was a time when World Wrestling Federation at the time, now it's World Wrestling Entertainment, was close to going away. And it was through
they were on their arse.
Yeah, and it was through the creativity that WWF brought forward that they were able to survive and eventually defeat WCW. And you have Triple H that was a big part of that. With D-Generation X.
Yeah.
And so he understands that first and foremost, and that's why having him in charge of controlling a lot of the storylines and stuff, that's genius. That's absolutely genius.
Yeah. But like I say, it is a pay-per-view, Stubbs, tomorrow. If you want to watch it. It doesn't feel like a pay-per-view because they've got a pay-per-view next week as well, or the week after that. And it just feels like this was like a throwaway show at first. They wanted to go Wembley so they can say they're the biggest, and it was always going to sell out because, one, they've never done a UK or European show. It's a one-off. They've not done any other show, so it were always going to sell out. But it just feels like all the matches are like three-man tag matches and stuff where they feel really thrown together. So I'm not fussed on the card. I'm more going for the atmosphere and just to say I was there, really. But I'll do some videos of it. I'll put them up on shorts and stuff like I do when I go to the other.
You need to run into the ring and scream, "Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6."
Yeah, mate,
right.
I'm sat that far back. They wouldn't hear me if I shouted, "Bill Clinton wants to play GTA." I'm not like what's his face, Luke Steele, who's like fucking front and center, front row.
He'll be in his skybox.
Yeah, skybox. He's in a blimp over it, his personal blimp flying around.
Yeah, the cameras will be taking pictures of him, put it in a magazine.
That's it, yeah. There's me with binoculars at the top, like, fucking hell, they're small.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, they have got it covered up. They have got it. They've someone shown off a picture of the ring, and it has got a cover over the top of it, so that's good.
Well, are we going to wrestle?
No, like a canopy, in case it rains. I remember when WrestleManias used to be live and they never used to have a canopy over, and you're always like, what happens if it rains? You'd be screwed.
No thanks for that.
But yeah, so we'll talk more about Wrestling Future. Obviously, I'm the bigger fan of it, but I just wanted to mention it because obviously out there tomorrow I'll be doing some sort of shorts for the channel and stuff. Maybe like a review of the pay-per-view when I get back, if I can be asked. But yeah, I'm a bit bummed about the whole Bray Wyatt thing. Really sad about
It's a
it.
shame.
It feels like a massive waste. And just obviously, best wishes to his family and friends. Really, like I say, he's left his wife, his new wife, and his 4 kids, including like a very young child behind, which sucks. And he seemed like a very nice guy. So sending best wishes to everyone in this extremely crappy time. But yeah, that's it for like the sort of topics I'd had down. So thank you to everyone who's been watching this. Means a lot to us. We're now going to go into 20 questions. So if you don't know what 20 questions is, it's a little game we do at the end of the show to sort of unwind, have a bit of a laugh, get away from the news and stuff. But admittedly, we don't do a lot of news anymore. But basically, one of us brings a game and the others have to guess the game. Now, we can only ask yes or no questions, and we have to guess the game within 20 questions. So you have 19 questions and then 1 guess. We can guess before the 20 questions are up, but if we guess wrong, we automatically lose. And this has only been failed once before over all of the shows we've done this on. So also, it has to be a console game at the moment. No PC exclusives, no like arcade exclusives and stuff like that. It has to be on some sort of like well-known console, and also no sort of like extremely hard to guess games, because we're not allowed to use Google, not allowed to search or anything like that. We're only able to use our gaming knowledge, so we can't pick like a game that sold to 15 people. So
Yeah, The Mask for the Super Nintendo. But nobody played. Oh yeah, I've got the game, Anna. All right.
yeah, you're
yeah,
the other person with the game, I assume.
Yeah, yes, I have the game. I have the game.
Jesus, here we go.
So yes. So this is our very first episode, of the XPN podcast, and our first ever game. So we reset the counter.
Whoop, whoop.
So we're down. The
streak starts again.
That's it. So without further ado, let the questioning begin.
Was it released on the PS3 360 generation onwards?
Yes.
Is it a console exclusive?
No.
And also, chat, feel free to jump. I know you're slightly delayed behind us on this particular stream. Going forward, it'll be a bit more up to date with everything. So you can jump in the chat, offer suggestions. Don't just shout out random games. Like actually questions that we can ask would be nice. So it was 360 Xbox Gen onwards, and it wasn't an exclusive. Was it an FPS?
Yes.
Was it made by an American studio?
Was it made? Are you asking if it's made or published?
Say published.
Just to be clear.
Let's say published. Was it published by an American publisher?
No.
So it's a first-person shooter. It's not an exclusive. PS3, Xbox 360 onward, and it's not an American publisher.
Is it playable on the?
Hang on. What? Give me 2 seconds.
Oh my god!
No. It's just to answer your last question. Sorry, I read wrong. Yes, it is made by an American company. Sorry, that is.
Oh god!
No, it's not.
God, he's already fucked it up.
Because I edit it out and I wrote it, but I just left the other bit.
I hope
so
you're
yes,
keeping track of the questions, because we haven't got a private chat to write them down anymore.
We'll just figure it as we go. It's not hard. But yeah, no, sorry, that is
4 questions so far.
Is it playable on current gen systems? So that is Series X and S and PS5.
PlayStation 5.
Yes, that's 5.
Okay. That's 5. Good.
5.
Is it a military shooter?
I wouldn't class it as a military shooter, so I'll
Okay.
say no. I wouldn't say. I'd say
So
no.
that pretty much rules out Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Oh, it's Call of Duty. Military.
Oh my God, you knucklehead!
I'm joking.
Trying to think. So it's not a military shooter. It's an FPS. Is it based on an IP, like a known IP, like movie, TV, film sort of
No.
series? No, it's not Battlefront or like that.
Okay, that's 7 so far. Is it made by Bethesda?
No.
Okay. Bethesda has a few of them, so. That's 8.
Will you piss off with that? Fucking. Don't know you're doing that, but it hurt my ears.
It's not made by Bethesda.
It's an American publisher.
Was it published by EA?
Yes.
Okay, that's
first
9.
So I'm gonna think out loud here because we ain't got the private chat. So like
that's fine.
Bethesda, EA, it's not an IP either, like a well-known IP. So that rules out like Star Wars and stuff. So you've got Titanfall, but is that a military shooter as such?
Yes.
You've got
it's military.
Mirror's Edge is a first. It's not a shooter as such, but it's a first-person game. Oh, and it's unavailable on current console. Is it available on Game Pass, like as part of like EA?
Yes.
Whatever it's called.
That's 10.
He's not as far back as me, Stubbs. Oh my God, I'm like in rafters. Literally, if I was any further back, I'd be sat on roof. Oh.
That's 10 so far, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what's on that EA Play now. I thought that would help, but it doesn't help me at all because I don't ever really play them.
Yeah, I'm familiar with EA games, and a shooter though. I mean, hell, even if you're talking like it. Okay, so it's a first-person shooter though, because that's important because there are third-person shooters and there are first-person shooters. So it being it being first person eliminates games like Army of Two because that's third person only.
Yeah. Oh, I miss Army of Two. They should bring that back. Do you know what I miss?
Yeah,
Kane and Lynch. I want another Kane and Lynch game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and that had a great premise. You know.
Yeah. Stop being bastards, Xbox. Bring it back.
Right. Damn. So a shooter. Okay. Is the shooter oh shit.
Because it's for the atmosphere, Daz. Honestly, mate. Why do you? I don't want to be ringside because you wouldn't see half of the stuff at the other side of the ring. For one, and two, there's going to be like 90,000 people. Like every time I've been at a pay-per-view, it's been amazing. It's the atmosphere, the roof shaking. When Edge came out at Clash at the Castle. And he got kicked in the dick. Was that one, or did he kick Dom in the dick? One of the two. It was amazing. Drew almost winning, and then obviously Money in the Bank was amazing as well. It's to say you've been there. Why do people go to watch football matches unless you sat in goal? It doesn't make sense. Why do anyone watch sports at a sporting venue unless you're right close?
Right.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So you can watch it all at home. Why do people go to watch F1 and racing when all you see is them just go wrong, wrong every fucking 2 minutes? It's the most boring thing in the world, but people pay loads of money for it. And that's why you go.
Yeah. Do you play as a police officer in this game?
No.
And no, Daz, I don't watch the Ryback show because, like, honestly, I feel like I'd rather just watch like conspiracy theorist. He's Ryback. I used to love Ryback as well. I had all the Ryback T-shirts, but oh my god, he's gone a bit loopity doopity. So, in personal opinion. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Is this game from the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation?
No.
So it had to have come out last generation.
Is it a remake remaster?
No.
That's not Crysis then. Fuck it, I ain't got a clue on this one. I cannot think of anything that is first person.
I'll give you a clue, and it'll probably give the game away. This game was sent out to die.
That's a lot of games.
Between two major games.
Oh, I would call that a army shooter, to be fair, just because it's got mechs in it.
Yeah, and because
does it have mechs in it?
Yes.
Does it have a number 2 in it?
Is that what you're asking? Does it have a number 2 in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Titanfall.
The guy's a private in the military.
No, yeah, but
I did mention Titanfall too earlier.
Situation over again.
No, it's that tiny little start bit, but then literally most of the game you're on your own with the mech, and there's nothing really. That's why I said it's not. I wouldn't say it's not really military because you're pretty much nothing to do with it. You're just kind of on your own with your big robot.
Oh, because you have to report in, and then the mech is authorized to you by the captain who got killed, and you link up with another officer.
That's different. No, the pilot. It's a pilot, and it's no. I'm not.
We did do it. We beat the score.
You won it. Oh, I don't even know how you're doing that, buddy.
My God.
So I'm proud of us.
We would have got this right away. We would have got this like five questions
I mentioned Titanfall right at the beginning, like.
Yeah.
Because literally, if it wasn't that, it was either going to be Medal of Honor, and there's only one of them, I think, on EA Play. It could have been Battlefield, or it was Titanfall. We'd have had that. Right. Oh no, I suppose you could class Black as a.
Yeah.
But you play as a military individual.
Oh, I don't fucking know, but
who cares? You won.